Hello out there, and in front of you today is the recently released Kershaw Dividend, number 1812. And this is a knife that I got in a group of a few knives from Blade HQ. And I wanted to talk about this one first because, frankly, it was the one I was most interested in and most excited about. The other ones I'll swing in at the end of the video, give them a little bit of camera time, maybe show you a couple other things that I'm working on as well. So if you're interested in that, stick around. If not, no worries. But let's just jump into what this Dividend is all about. And this is one that is a USA-made Kershaw with speed safe, 420HC blade steel, and a couple different handle configurations. So very similar in materials and the idea to the Kershaw Link, which was released a couple years ago and has been a huge hit for them. And personally, I'm really happy to have another USA-made Kershaw that is not an automatic, because I don't have any automatics. I'm not allowed to carry them where I live. So yeah, it's good to have more USA made stuff that I'm able to carry and get. So happy about that. This one, I think the number of it sort of ties it to the Link in that it's the 1812. The Link is the 1776 in homage to our nation's birth year. And the 1812, obviously, and also very pivotal year in our country's history with the War of 1812. So hopefully it is not a coincidence, because that is a really neat, subtle connection to make between the two knives. And just like the Link, this one also has the two different handle configurations. This one with the glass-filled nylon. There's also a slightly more expensive aluminum handle scale one, and I will talk about the differences between the two of them when I get to the ergonomics, because I chose this one for a pretty specific reason. But let's just start with the overall length and weight of the knife, and just go from there, from the blade to the butt. All right, so the length of the blade, the cutting edge is 3 inches almost exactly, and then the total length is just over 7 inches long. All right, and the weight of this knife is extremely light at 2.81 ounces. All right, and while we're here, actually, I'm going to bring in a Kershaw Leek. And the reason for that is there's just some similarities in look and in weight and function to these two knives. So this one at 2.99 ounces. And unfortunately, I do not have my my liner lock Leek with me, which would be really nice to compare. But I think that one weighs in at either 2.6 or 2.8 ounces. And again, the big reason for my curiosity for this Dividend is just how similar that these knives are, and the purposes that they share being, you know, pretty alike. You know, you're going to have a good medium to lightweight EDC here, a good everyday carry, definitely good functional utility tasks, you know, but not just a big beater of a knife. You know, good for some fine work as well. But one big difference as we continue to talk about the blade here is that this blade of 420HC has a little bit more belly than a Kershaw Leek does. You know, the Kershaw Leek has the slightest recurve, but is almost a Wharncliffe blade. And this one has a little bit of belly as it goes to the tip, but still should be very, very easy to sharpen. So maintaining this one should not be a problem whatsoever. We also have this brilliant stonewash that we've come to expect from Kershaw. Really impressed with that. I like the markings on the blade too. Not too many of them, but you know, they all sort of mean something. You know, the backwards American flag, 1812, made in USA. Definitely no problem with any of those markings. Like seeing all that stuff. All right, and then the other information about the blade is just how nicely it comes down to a very, very acute tip. Let's look at that from the top. All right, yep. Sorry, that took a second to focus. And this feels definitely like a hollow grind right here as well. All right, and then moving on to the action and the lockup. You can see the lockup right here with this liner lock is very good. The liners are thin and there is no milling on them, but they're so thin and the rest of the weight is so, or excuse me, the rest of the knife is so light that cutting extra weight really isn't necessary. So Yeah, I'm pretty good with the liners just being full and not milled whatsoever. I wouldn't want this knife to be much lighter. All right, but let's take a look at the action and the centering. First, the action. Really good and crisp. All right, it's a good crisp, nice little kick to it. You know, reminds me a little bit of the Leek, the 1776, because what I said about the Leek when I first got it was that it impressed me the most with the way that it opened and closed, because that's what set it apart from a lot of the overseas designs that Kershaw has. You know, we're not talking about 154 cm and like carbon fiber here. You know, we're talking about a pretty good, affordable, economical knife, you know, but it's made in the USA. So the things that you're looking for to separate it from some of the overseas produced ones are really just in function, because the materials are not much better. So yeah, you get that with the function and the way that it opens. You know, so really happy with that. The way that it locks up and down is really good. Left and right is really good, but out of the box it wasn't. I actually had to adjust the pivot screw just a little bit. I was worried that it was going to be one of those pivot screws that, you know, you adjust it and then open the knife like 10 times and then have to adjust it again. But that wasn't the case. It was just loose out of the box. So I've tightened it, opened the knife probably about 100 times, haven't had to adjust it again. So lockup is pretty much perfect. So no worries there. All right, one other really minor thing is the centering. All right, you can see the centering is just not exactly middled, but pretty close. You know, it's not bad. I did adjust some of these body screws and got it a little bit closer, but haven't been able to get it 100%. You know, almost there though, and I might be able to work on that in the future too. Okay, so that's what we've got there. Oh. Yeah, and I always forget to talk about the washers. Every time I do a video, I always forget to talk about that. And what it looks like to me, and like I said, haven't taken this knife apart, but we are on a bronze phosphor washer on this side, and I think there's another one on the other side. All right, I thought for a second, I thought I saw some white in there at one point, and I thought that it was like one bronze and one Teflon, but I do think they're both bronze. All right, so there's that information for you. And yeah, if I realize differently, I will definitely annotate that in the description down below. Okay, so moving on to ergonomics. This knife is really comfortable, guys. It's comfortable in my hand. You know, like I said before, medium to small hand. So, you know, if you have really large hands, just imagine where your fingers will be. You know, look where the butt of the knife is in my hand. One of my big concerns with the Leek was just how slick the handle scale was. And I didn't really want to get the aluminum for this one because my fingers slid around on the aluminum for the Leek. And I probably should have gone the other way around, you know, and gotten this glass-filled nylon for the Leek and the aluminum for this, because with me at least, my hand is so locked into this configuration, and it fits like so well with so little places, so few places for the knife to go, that I don't think the knife sliding around would be a problem on this one. Now, that said, I actually like the glass-filled nylon on this. You know, it's decent and it's grippy in these areas where there's this texturing. Texturing isn't sharp, you know, but it does its job pretty well. It is a little bit slicker than I would like where there is no texturing. I'd probably just want more of that texturing, to be honest with you, like all over the rest of it, and that would be really good. The sides here that don't have this grip remind me a lot of the areas of the Griptilian scales that don't have that grip. You know, it feels the same right around the pivot, if you know what I'm talking about there. All right, no jimping, but like I was saying earlier, my thumb sort of rests there pretty naturally as it is, and then you can choke up, choke down, comfortable in just about all areas so far. There is a bit of a forward choil, but I don't know that I would use that for any kind of hard use, just with how easily your finger could slip. That'd be something that if you were modifying this knife, I mean, you could make that more pronounced and not really lose much blade length, and really give yourself a good way to choke up if that's something that you're looking for. Okay. And then moving over to the pocket clip, this is one of those clips that you see from Kershaw quite a bit, and I never really liked the look of it, but once I started owning knives that had this clip, I don't have a problem with it at all, to be honest. It's not the deepest carry, and sometimes I wonder why they couldn't just loop this over, but yeah, it carries just fine. No problem with it. Good snug fit. So yeah, pretty decent clip. Good lanyard hole right here. So overall, I haven't used this knife enough to really do a full review and let you know how it performs, but it was wicked sharp out of the box, and I'm looking forward to using it. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of background about the knife and a little bit of information. But any questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, as always, let me know in the comments down below. And now let me bring in a couple of the other knives that I was talking about that I got today. So they're both from CRKT. This is the new Aux. This is from Lucas Burnley. So obviously I will be talking about this in the future. And then also from CRKT, this is the Pilar. So this is a very cool one. Heavy. Over 4 ounces for this little guy. But a pretty neat one. And then two more things since you've been with me this long. Two more things I want to show you. The first one, these are some Kershaw Dimension scales that I've been working on. Really excited about how these are coming out. Yeah, they're catching the light pretty well. So I'm almost done with that modification project, so I will make a video about that shortly. And then one last thing, and this is just a little bit of a tease because I don't know when this is going to happen and when this giveaway will be, but the next knife that I will be giving away is this. So when I got the Spyderco Warney Delica, I didn't just get the regular Delica for Warney, I got the one with the serrations as well. And I got it with the express purpose of giving it away at some point. So again, I don't know when that giveaway will be, and I don't know what else it will entail. I don't know if there will be a subscriber number or just a number of videos I've made, or hey, it's, X day in X month, let's do a giveaway. I don't know, but the next time I do a giveaway, this will be involved. So really excited about that. I've had this knife for a couple weeks and I've wanted to tell you guys every single day. So cat's out of the bag now. We have that to look forward to. Really excited to be doing that sometime in the near future. So again, guys, anything else that you have questions about or any kind of insight you might have about any of these knives, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But as always, I appreciate you watching and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Take care.